In Macau, I met Sister Zhao, who was in the horse washing business. Sister Zhao invited the boss to accompany her and had lunch together. The meal lasted until about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. The boss and Sister Zhao stayed at the Star Hotel, and I moved there too. There were people from the city and friends in the hall on the second floor. Besides, I was not familiar with it here and was a bit bored, so I checked out of the room and went with them. Star World is the home base where gambling king Louis Che-Wu got his start. The President Casino, located on the edge of the core entertainment district of the Macau Peninsula, is also the property of Louis Che-Wu, the gambling king. The first floor of the second floor is the hotel lobby and performance stage. Performers from all over the world usually perform in turns around the clock to attract tourists. The second floor is the midfield hall and various slot machines. Take the escalator from the first floor to the third floor, where various VIP clubs are located. The first floor area is about 5,000 square meters. Each hall has its own leisure area, dining area, and bathroom. Our room is located on the 36th floor. Each person has an extra large suite. Needless to say, all these expenses were borne by Sister Zhao. At the door of the room, Boss Jiang and Sister Zhao and I agreed to meet at the VIP club on the third floor at 3:30. Entering the room, I ground myself a cup of black coffee, lay on the sofa outside, and savored President Wu's current situation, which still shocked me. As the president of the Chamber of Commerce and an industry leader, he was once very prosperous, but now he is being forced into debt by the little brother he rescued back then. It is very embarrassing to think about it. Things in the world are unpredictable. 30 years to the east of the river and 30 years to the west of the river. No one can guarantee that they will have smooth sailing and calm peace throughout their lives. According to Boss Zhang's description, Chairman Wu's current situation is actually a problem with his company, and losing money in Macau is just the last straw that breaks his back. As a leading real estate company in this city, it is hilarious that the house would have quality problems and fail to pass the project acceptance, which would lead to a series of problems. It can only be said that the root cause of this situation still lies with President Wu himself and has something to do with Macau. Just imagine, if a business leader focuses on how to defeat the casino all day long but neglects to manage his own business, can the business avoid problems? Not only do you lose money by gambling, but more importantly, you lose your ideals, your fighting spirit, and your personality, which completely subverts your own outlook on life. President Wu is a living example. Boss Jiang and Sister Zhao didn't end up last night because they arrived late. They were busy going to Xinhao to find me this morning. It was obvious that Sister Zhao was pestering Boss Jiang. What is the relationship between them? Regardless of the painstaking efforts to find me, is it just that she met and became friends? Sister Zhao is indeed not a simple woman. In order to win high-quality customers, she also works hard. But from this perspective, I still admire him. After all, his positivity and professionalism are commendable. Sister Zhao will definitely take the initiative to help me today, just do it, and treat it as a favor to the boss. When people walk in the rivers and lakes, they cannot be alone. They must go with the flow, otherwise they will not be able to gain a foothold at all. Moreover, I am already 1.2 million away from my goal of 2 million, and I am only 800,000 short of my goal of 2 million. Once the target is completed, I will immediately return home without any hesitation. Seeing that it was almost the appointed time, I went to take a shower, and then walked out of the room in high spirits. The VIP club on the third floor is actually a general term. It consists of the Supreme Poker Room, the Star Entertainment Club, the Entrance Club, the Supreme Club and the VIP Club. Each VIP room is an independent unit. When I arrived, the three of them were already waiting for me on the big sofa at the entrance, drinking tea. After some pleasantries, Sister Zhao led us into the Star Entertainment Club. This is a medium-sized independent hall with only 6 baccarat tables. It has an independent leisure area, restaurant, and bathroom, and the decoration is luxurious and amazing. At this time, 5 of the 6 gaming tables are under construction, and the remaining table has a bronze medal for the VIP table, which Sister Zhao booked for us in advance. Sister Zhao sat down at the table with us and asked, "How do you two brothers plan to play today? How many yards are needed?" Boss Jiang smiled at me and said, "I donated 300 yuan, you need no matter how much, just ask." Actually, I still have a cash code of 2.2 million new notes in my bag, so there is no need to give it out again. As long as I hand over the new banknotes to the cashier, I can immediately exchange them for chips without any fees. The cash codes of major casinos are all exchanged with each other, but in order to take into account the boss's face and Sister Zhao's warm hospitality, I still said, "Then I owe 200. Sister Zhao smiled and said, "Hang 2 brothers give me face," and a bing goes to pick up the horses for the 2 brothers. A Bing, who had been standing by the side, responded, turned around and walked to the accounting room. 5 million chips were placed on the table, all with a face value of 100,000 yuan. Sister Zhao gave me and Boss Jiang 3 million and 2 million each, then stood up and walked to the end of the table with a Bing, giving the main battle chips to me and Boss Jiang. This is a gambling table with a base bet of 20,000 and a maximum of 2 million. The dealer is a middle-aged woman wearing glasses. At the moment, she is flying cards according to my instructions. Boss Jiang and I have not agreed on how to fight in advance. This is fine, so as to avoid constraining each other and tying up each other's hands and feet like we did last time when we partnered with Chairman Wu. In this situation, if the two parties disagree, I can choose not to reach it, or even look for opportunities elsewhere, without any worries at all. The croupier has already flown away, but 7 or 8 of the roads are still not very regular, and other small roads are not fully visible, but the 3 dealers from the mainland seem to be signs of dealer dragons again. I then signaled the dealer to pause and sent the 100,000 chips to the banker. I looked at Boss Jiang, and he was grinning at me. He had already put 300,000 yuan on the banker before me. Our opinions were unanimous. He seemed to be more optimistic about this banker's omen than me. The dealer sent 2 cards to Boss Jiang, and he opened them casually. One of them was the Queen of Hearts. The boss looked at the remaining one vertically first. It's definitely not a job. And opened it sideways a little bit. He keeps mumbling in his mouth. 3 sides. 3 sides. The people on the 3 sides were also loud. As he shouted, and his hair was also on the 4 sides. Everyone in the audience became extremely nervous. On the 4 sides is a life and death card. Either one shot will pass at 9 o'clock. Or just 2 workers waiting to be beaten. Changed the boss posture. He started mumbling again. There are people in the center who are excited, and there are people in the center who are playing cards and flipping up half a card. When he was sure that there was someone in the center, the boss suddenly slapped the cards away. At 9 o'clock, the official has already opened the first card. It's 2 bows. One shot passed the whole place. A scream. Sister Zhao even stood up. Then I kissed the boss's bald head. After. This move aroused a burst of laughter from the whole audience. A good start. The boss stretched out his fat palm and gave me a double tap. Sister Zhao and his pony were also very excited. It's understandable. What stacker doesn't want his clients to win money? The 4 friends of Zhuang Road continue to explore the downward trend. It is also unknown whether it will be a long line of makeup. There are 3 strokes that I didn't hit earlier. So I recommended another 100,000 yuan to the bodybuilder boss. Seems more confident than me. On the basis of 300,000. 100,000 cards were dealt smoothly. Opened the blood camp. There is no sound. He Guan put all the chips on the table into it. Look at the boss. I looked at Sister Zhao again. With a look of helplessness. Sister Zhao smiled and comforted. Nothing more. There are comings and goings. Shoot him to death with chips later. By this he obviously meant He Guan. Maybe I've heard similar voices too many times. He Guan didn't care. It's still getting more and more ugly on the non-paved roads. There was no chance to strike, so I struck the boss several times. But they were all corrected. So I took a few chips and went to other tables to look for opportunities. The hall is very lively. Every gaming table is under construction. I sat down in front of a table with only 3 people. The street sign shows that it is a 3-bedroom and 1 living room layout. Listening to it at this time. Just got hit by 3 people. Are high-fiving and celebrating. According to the number of roads with 3 bedrooms and 1 living room. At this time, you should make money without hesitation. So I slapped 200,000 on the string. The 3 of them set their sights on my $200,000 at the same time. It should be considered a big bet in their eyes. Because I can see that they have been playing with thousands of dollars. The first card I looked at was a 3-sided 7. The second picture is borderless. I slowly lifted a corner of the card. He kept shouting blow. Everyone slapped the table and echoed. I have no boundaries. It is also a life and death card that is matched with 78 points, 2 points, and 79 points. If 3 matches 7, there is no point. Just brag a little and you can kill your opponent directly. Otherwise, you may be killed. The card is finally opened. It's a 3 of diamonds. Everyone stopped. But the card player was shot dead by his opponent at 8 o'clock. 3 of their colleagues stood up. Throwing down the real card and walking away. Now I am the only soldier left on the table. I don't know when I came here. I don't know at all. It must have been the scene just now. He also saw Ah Bing. I know it's not going well for me. It's hard to say much. Just sitting aside and watching me silently. Yes. The three of them were really not as happy as they were when they won a small bet. But I interfered and ruined the fire. It's really dark. While He Guan was constantly flying cards. There is a good way. Not only did I recover all my losses, I also won more than 300,000 yuan. Ah Bing was very happy on the side. Keep cheering for my ribs. Ma Liang also washed out a lot of things after restarting the game. The plot takes a turn for the worse. Not only did he lose the profit of more than 300,000 yuan from the previous game, he also lost more than 800,000 yuan. Why? Why don't you know how to stop when you're done? The 2 million gambling capital now only has 1.1 million left. This means that my profit of 1.2 million in Xinhao is only 300,000. There is no way to fight. I packed up the remaining chips and met with Boss Jiang.